Okay, I also have here in the call Amolala for well. Is it for where? I know you to be Mrs. Fatima. You are welcome. Sorry, can you all hear me? Just to confirm.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So while we wait for others to join the call, I would call on Mrs. Fatima Deniji here to give a brief introduction. What are your expectations from this session, so that we can know?
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. I
Wa
am
alaikum
Fatima
salam.
Adikun. I'm an educator. Um, I'm joining from Lagos State, Alagbado precisely. Well, at the end of this class, I expect that I'll be able to do my basic designs, like I should be able to design my basic needs. For example, I want to do a flyer, I should be able to do it. I want to do a newsletter for the school. I should be able to design it on my own without being assisted. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your expectation from the program. Thank you for joining us from Alagbado. That's a far distance. Wow. Okay. So, um, while we're still waiting for others to join the call, Miss Ola Omolola Fatima, I know you're Fatima also. Please, can you please introduce yourself? Sorry if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. You might have been muted. Okay.
Alaikum salam wabarakatuh.
Now, wa
Hello.
alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Yes, we can hear you.
Hmm. Good evening. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, we are glad you're happy to be here.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, I'm happy to be here. What is the question? I couldn't hear you on time.
Okay, I said while we are waiting for others to join the session, I only brought it up as a suggestion that those on the call should just give a brief introduction about themselves and also tell us their expectation from this session.
Okay. And my name is Fatima Omolola Fowe Umushuai. I'm staying in Lagos presently, and my expectation to learn more about graphic design, to know more about Canvas, other design out there that I can use to design my flyers, logos, more creative in short. All right.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate. So now the man in the house, Abu Bakri, can you just give a brief introduction about yourself? If you are talking, we cannot hear you, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Now, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Now,
So the name is Abubakar Tunji. So I'm
oh,
calling from Abeokuta.
okay, the first
So my
Abeokuta
expectations from this,
participant, you're welcome.
yeah,
I
okay,
said,
thank you.
yeah,
So,
you're welcome.
so my expectations from this program is to actually have more insight about graphic design because I've learned graphic design for the primary. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. Please proceed, team.
So I've actually learned graphic design before, but it's basic like normal graphic design. So my experience from this program is gather more knowledge about graphic design and be able to uh like be able to create graphic design for many brands as many as I can
Uh,
possibly so have a great number of clients actually and be the mastermind behind many brands.
okay, great.
Yeah. So
Okay, I can see you are still speaking, right? Okay, thank you so much for that brief introduction, and also for the expectation. I can see, like, from what you said, I understand you said you are you have previously learned the graphics design tools before now, and you want to advance more in this career. So okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I really appreciate you. Ola Abimbola, you are welcome. Oh, sorry, she left. Oh, who was that? Okay. Abimbola, you are welcome, and you are truly appreciated. So, could you please give a brief introduction about yourself while we wait for others to join? And can you know that when it's 8:45 prompt, we would kickstart the program. Okay. So, thank you all for joining early. So, Abibola, please, can you please give a brief introduction about yourself to the house? Okay, Abibola, please, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Perhaps you are muted or you are far from your mic. So, thank you so much, everyone. So, I'll be sharing my screen. Please, kindly inform me when you can see my screen. So, can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can. But it's tiny, very tiny.
you can zoom it. You can zoom.
Okay, please, can you all see my screen now?
Yep.
Okay, great. Y- You are no longer presenting. Okay. So once is 8:45, we would kickstart the program. Okay. So uh please, can you all see my screen? It seems my screen is no I'm no longer sharing my screen. Okay. Let me
Device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
I would have to reshare my screen. Sorry about that, I think. So kindly inform me when you can see my screen.
I can see it.
Okay, great. Thank you.
It's getting better.
So how about now?
Now, but not clear.
It's not clear.
Mm, not that clear, but it's better.
Is it the same for
Yes,
everyone?
yes, getting better. No, it's getting better now. The
Okay.
facilitator is coming up, and the
Okay.
name is out.
Okay, I think that should be okay. Sorry. Just to confirm,
Yes, it's getting.
is it fine now?
Yes, it's a bit stable. Think it's stable. Yes,
Okay.
yes, very much okay in my
Okay,
side.
thank you. Just let
Uh,
me confirm. Okay. Okay, so without any further ado, we would kickstart the session. Today we are going to talk about the graphics design fundamentals. As a graphics designer, what are the fundamental knowledge you ought to know? What, what are the basic things that makes your design different from others? What makes your design professional? What really determine how other people see your design, how they perceive your design? Please, am I audible enough so I can know if I should increase my volume? Hello.
Yes, yes, you are able enough.
Okay, okay, thank you very much. So now these are just the basic fundamentals which every graphic designer have to put in mind before initiating the process of making a graphics design. And these are the fundamental steps, fundamental knowledge that differentiate your design from a quack design and a professional design. So your uh at some point I used to tell people that there are basic difference using the between knowing how to use the tools and using the tools effectively as a graphic designer. So you can know how to use the tools, such like tools like CorelDRAW, Photoshop, Adobe Illustrator, Canva to come down to the smartphones. However, implementing the basic design graphics design fundamentals in your design is what makes your design a top-notch one. So so okay, I will be proceeding. About me, so my name is Habibullah Adeyinka, and I own a startup company, Microbit Technologies, and I'm a graduate of computer engineering. I graduated in the year 2019 from Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, Abeokuta. Sorry, can you all see my screen well? Just to confirm before proceeding.
Yeah, I can see it well.
Okay, great, thank you. So, and I currently work as a Microsoft technical support engineer. So, I'm just someone who is passionate about IT, and I have my little technical expertise and certifications in graphics design, software development, technical support, and customer support. So, that's just my background, and like I'm always open to learning, continuous learning. That's that's the generation we are. now. We all have to just continue learning. So that's a little about me. So now about the brand, Microbit Technologies is a startup IT firm that provides quality IT services such as graphic design, web design, and development, IT support service, computer repair and maintenance, and IT consulting and training, many more. So that's about the brand. So why do we need to talk about the fundamentals of graphics design? Who can tell us? Who can just give a guess? Why do we think it's important for us to talk about this? Why, please? Anyone? Anyone, please? Okay, so the reason why we have to talk about the fundamentals of graphic design is because for every skill or for every knowledge, there is always a building block that it is laid upon. So, like let's say for example, or a civil engineer or a builder who wants to build a house that has been properly and adequately designed by an architect. So now he's the one that want to tell us how well the sorry, I need to admit someone in. Where is it? Okay. Oh, okay, sorry about that. So now, if the foundation upon which is he want to lay the structure which he want to construct, if that foundation is not strong enough, then we 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 all know that building with no time would collapse. We have series of experiences of such scenarios whereby a house just collapse, a house just collapse just because they is either they have used materials that are substandard, or the foundation on which the structure was laid upon was not strong enough. So for us to be a professional designer, a graphic designer, we all have to ensure that we implement all these basics, the foundation in our designs, before we now talk about how do we now use the tools to design. So we have to understand these basic building blocks upon which every graphic design is laid upon. So the agenda for today's program: introduction to graphic design, rules of graphic design. After that, we talk about color theory, use of color. Then we will talk about briefly about the graphic design tools that we have, and then we gave room for questions and answers. So at this point, I just want to confirm: are we still together with me, or I am talking to myself? I just need to know.
We're together. We're here.
Okay, great. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah. So let's begin the journey. So introduction to graphic design. Never mind. I'll make the material available after the session. Business Rahman. So now, what is graphic design? Uh, Before I even start with that, I will need any one of us to just tell me when you hear about graphic design, what comes to your mind. I just want to hear some suggestions from all of us. Abu Bakri, yes, I know you have been in the route sometime. So can you tell us what comes to the mind when you hear about graphic design? What comes to the mind?
So, what comes to mind when we hear graphics design? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly well. Please proceed.
Okay. So what comes to mind when we hear graphics design is just like pictorial representation of a brand or a company.
Okay.
Yeah. So a pictorial representation of a brand or a company. Uh, that's what comes to mind.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wars, I understand that Adeniji Miss Fatima was about to say something earlier. Okay, Habibullah, my namesake, please. I can see you raise your hand. Please let's hear
You
you.
raise your hand, please. Let's hear you. So graphic design, to my own understanding, is the way of communication. Is the way of communicating. So when you use image, some graphic, other graphic element to communicate some certain information to people. Now,
Okay, thank
am
you.
I communicating?
Yes,
Okay, thank
yes.
you.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Who else? The ladies in the house or the our mothers in the house. Let me put it that way. Any suggestion from us? Okay. Arijalu Kawamuna ala Nisa. Okay, now, so I really appreciate the input and the suggestions from Abubakri and my namesake Habibullah. So, like Habibullah said, is a way of communicating. Yes, graphic design in anything graphics, it's the first thing you should understand is that you are communicating something. You are communicating something. So how you now want your audience to perceive the information you are trying to convey is now determined about how structured you have how structured is your design, which has to do with the what's it called, with the basics and the foundation upon which graphic design is laid. So now, what is graphic design? Let's just start with that. Graphic design is the art of communicating information with the use of content, image, and elements of graphic design. So that means in your graphics design or in a graphic design is an art of communicating information. So you are trying to pass information not in a vocal way, but in a form of a representation using image, content, elements of graphic design. So in the slides that follow up, we would surely talk about some what are the elements of graphic design. Do we understand? So now, as a graphic designer, when you even make a design, just look at it yourself and ask yourself, if I'm an audience, how do I perceive? How well do I receive this information? You can agree with me that each and every one of us, when we see a professional graphics design, we would appreciate it. We can differentiate between a professional graphics design and a design that is just designed. You understand? Am I correct? Sorry, am I correct?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, great. So now, let's just proceed. According to the American Institute of Graphics Arts, is a graphic design is an act and practice of planning and projecting ideas and experiences with visual and textual content. So visual content can um, can embed in it pictures, images, you understand, lines, shapes, while the textual content has to do with the typography. So without wasting way or wasting much of time, let's talk about the elements of graphic design. What are the elements of graphic design? We have the line, shape, form, texture, space, imagery, typography, and color. So line, we have different kind of lines. We can have dotted lines, we can have a straight line, we can have curved lines. And shapes, we have a number of shapes: square, circle, and the likes. So we can have a pyramid, a shapes. We can have different type of shapes. The texture, what the texture you're using, the background, you understand, the space. How do you give how do you give space to your design? Imagery, using of images, you understand. Typography has to do with the text, the your fonts, and the color. So and that takes a greater part of the design. That color aspect is something that is that's very very important that everyone has to just understand as a graphics designer. So I'll be proceeding. So graphics design, we have business cards, logos. Logos are just representation of a brand. You understand? You can design for textbooks, for ebooks. So we have a lot of them like that. We have UI UX designers who just give it. There are those who just who make designs for softwares or websites. They give us a kind of architecture or a blueprint with which with which the software developers work with to to give the desired result. So, oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong key. Okay, so graphic design includes logo, banner, as I've said, flyers, ID cards, book design, souvenirs, illustrations, UI, UX, web design, calligraphy, and many more. So these are what graphic design includes. So we would be moving to the next part, which is rules of graphics design. At this point, I will need to confirm: are we all still together, or I'm speaking with myself?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, great. Um, maybe I
Yes,
think
we
it's
have.
okay. Uh, kindly hold on a moment. I want to just call out these people. We have lesser attendance here. Okay, so we will be talking about the rules of graphic design. So these are the rules that guides your graphic design. To how does this saying goes? Even there is there is nothing in this life that does not have its own rules. Even God who created us has his own rules he has stated and stipulated for us all to abide with. Know where we are, there is always rules that guides, because these are the rules um that makes things works right. We understand. So now as a graphic design, we have to just implement all these rules in our design. Do we understand? Though these rules might you might look at them and say, so all these things still exist, to exist. Yes, they exist. what I notice most times is that when we go out to say we want to learn graphic design, most of the things these our so-called trainers do do to us is that they only take us through how to use the tools. You understand? However, graphic design is beyond how to use the tools, because even if you know how to use the tools and you are not implementing the rules of graphic design in in, in your design process, then you are not a graphics designer. You are just using the tools. You just know how to use the tools. Do you understand? So these are the rules of graphic design, which we all should keep in mind every time we are trying to design any graphical content. So now the first rule, yes, states that keep it what simple, stupid. So your design must be simple. There is this saying that goes that the best form of sophistication is simplicity. So that's just the best form of sophistication. Just be simple. Just make it simple. Don't let it look complex and very clustered, that the audience who are trying to view your graphical content find it hard to comprehend. We all know when we see a professional graphics design. So yeah, they say this basically means avoiding all forms of complexities in your design. So you just have to avoid all forms of complexities, make your design simple, easy to understand, and clean. This can be utilized by using not more than three fonts. Even using three fonts is much. You maximum just use two, and you can just use the font family where we have the bold, the lighter one. You can just use the the, the font family instead of just using different fonts, using Aria in one, using uh Myriad in one, using just so just you don't just compound all your graphic designs. Make them simple, make them very simple and easy to understand. So do we understand? So these are this is first rule of graphic design. We just have to keep it simple. Okay. Next is the white space. Now, talking about white space, that I used to give a scenario that let's give a scenario. Please, can you all still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now, so now I used to give a scenario that a father who got married to a beautiful princess or a beautiful queen and had three children, for example. For instance, so now he happens to be living in a room with his three children and his wife. Now, luckily for him, he got a job that is paying him well. He migrated from being in one room to a three-bedroom flat. Now, which of the two houses or the two homes do you think will be more spacious? Do you think will be more presentable? Do you think will look professional? Which of the two homes?
The 3 bedroom.
The three-bedroom. Thank you, Habibullah. So now, ne- now, so now, just let's just always look at our design and see and ask ourselves, does this design breathe? As in, do we give this design the breathing space? Do we understand? So the white space is just you giving your design space for it to breathe. Not that everything is choked up or everything looks choked up. Do you understand? So your design have to be what? Have to be spacious. White space is the space between the elements in your design. Do you understand? So you have to give white space. Let your design breathe. Give it a breathing space. Do we understand? So that your design will not just look choked up. Or let's look at some examples now. Looking at this now, we have at the left hand side we have a text, isn't it? So this text is oh sorry. So now we can see that one of the texts is what is choked up while the other is spacious. Now the one that is spacious, you will see that you are able to read it well. You are able to follow through the each lines easily compared to the one that is choked up, that looks so close to each other. And also one of the things we use white space for is that we can also use white space to how will I put it, to create an element. Let's look at the yellow or the right hand side of the of this screen. Now you can see that we have three black shapes, isn't it? But with that three black shapes, we are able to use it to form what shape? A triangle. Yes, using just the white space. So the white space is just the negative space where we do not have any content. Now we are able to use that three dots, that three shapes, that three black shapes to create a white space of a what of a triangle. So these are also how we can use the white space. So now we move to the third aspect, which is hierarchy. Sorry, okay, Habib, you raised up your hand.
Yeah, I would like you to share more light on something for me. So
Okay.
is white space the same thing with the negative space, like, or can they be used interchangeably?
Yes. Can you say I have it here that says it is also called the negative space because it is the space where you do not have any content, where you do not have anything there. So that is why it is called the white space, and it is also called the negative space. That means the positive space is where you have content in your design. All the spaces where we do not have anything here are known as the what? Are known as the white space or the negative space. Is that fine?
Yes,
Yeah, it's
yes.
fine, sir.
Okay, okay, great. So now, can we see now? Let's just try to give this imagination. How many of us have seen these designs of top brands like MTN, Airtel, all these top brands? If we can really picture out one of them that we have seen, if you can really think, we will see that they are always spacious. As in, you can see maybe they will just put one picture of one man and just write a very simple content, and that's all. Is that not correct? So that shows us the importance of white space. So we move to the next part, which is hierarchy. So the visual hierarchy is a method of organizing design elements in order of what importance. This is very important in our design. There must be hierarchy. in your design. Not that the less important aspect of your design is what you make bigger, more what you is what you make bolder. Do we understand? So that means the you are arranging your design elements in order of what importance. In other words, a set of principles that influence the order in which we notice what we see. So now you want to make a design and you want certain part of the designs to grab the attention of the audience, or you want that particular aspect of the design to be the first thing the audience sees or perceive. That means that aspect must be legible and must be easier for the audience to comprehend. So now let's look at this image. How to achieve visual hierarchy? How do we achieve visual hierarchy? Number one is number one is size. You can achieve visual hierarchy by size, by increasing the size. Also by color, using a different color just to make it different. Also by contrast, using contrasting colors. Element style, you can also change the element style of a particular aspect you want to give more importance to. You can see the circles, and we have, what's this shape? I've forgotten. Oh. See, I've forgotten mathematics. Oh. What's this shape? Mathematicians in the house. I know
Is that
I,
not a polygon?
I know it's a polygon.
I know it's a polygon.
Okay, sorry, Adeniji, you raised up
Okay,
your
sorry,
hand.
Adeniji, you raised up your hand.
Sorry, please. I have a baby to attend to. Is it possible for you to help us to record this session?
Yes, I am currently recording the
All right.
session.
Thank you
So
very much.
you are welcome. You are welcome. Okay, okay. So now we move on. That's a polygon, yes. So the fifth one is symmetry. Symmetry. And the sixth one, grouping and similarity. So grouping similar elements together. The last one says don't mix everything up. Don't just mix everything up and make your design looks whack. So do we understand? So now I at the right hand side we have, you will read this first, because that is what because it is bold and legible for us to see. Then we have, and then you will read this next line, because that's the hierarchy it has been that's the order at which it has been arranged. At the left hand side of the bottom we have, you will probably read this before the paragraph, because that also is what is bolder, they used another color as well to give it importance. You will go back to read this body copy if you want to know more. So it is after you have read all these aspects, that's when you would now say, okay, what's the details in this? And at some point, at the top, at some point you may come back to read this line, or maybe not. You most times you will skip that, because, do we understand? So it's just trying to show us that the hierarchy, the order in which you arrange your elements, your design elements, is very important in your design. So are we still together?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now
Okay, great.
the next part is the contrast. This is also very, very important. Contrast lets the viewer make out easily what is the most important element or information in your design, what comes second, third, and so on. So contrast also works hand in hand with hierarchy we have just discussed. So with the contrast, it makes it easier for us to differentiate the content in your design. Let's look at the next. I say without contrast, our designs are just lackluster and boring to look at. They are also difficult to understand. A lack of contrast is often what separates mediocre design work from designs that look professional, polished, and clear. So now let's look at this image. Let's look at this image. Now, who can read what is on the left hand side? Who can read it out? What is on the left image? We all agree that it is not legible enough for you to read it because you are not creating a form of contrast between the background and what is on the foreground. So all the both the text that is there and the background are light, so it makes it uneasy for us to see the content on it compared to the one at the on the right hand side. So now we all we just did was that we make the background darker so that the lighter part of the content will be what will be visible and easy to watch and easy to read. So that's one of the beauty of contrast. To contrast differentiate between designs. It makes us differentiate between design. It is with contrast we can be able to differentiate that, oh, that side is a home on a C or on a CES. And here we also have a giant. So it's making us know that the man standing in front of this short man is a giant. You can see how big his shadow is. So it's with the help of contrast that we are able to differentiate these things. So now we move to another very important aspect, which is alignment. Alignment is, as in, very important. Even in Islam, alignment is important because when we want to pray for Salah, our self must be what? Must be very straight. Sawu sufufakum. That's what he said. Straighten up your lines because it is a beauty on its own. When you see something aligned, you cannot just understand how beautiful it is to the sight if your design is aligned. Let's look at it. Literally means the lining of graphics and text in relation to the various edges of the design canvas. We can see the good alignment and the bad alignment. You to just look at that image, you can see that that is even bad because it does not look ordered, it does not look arranged, it does not look professional. So the graphic designer, your design, one of the things you should always take note of is your alignment. Your design must be aligned thoroughly. Not that one aspect of your design is protruding while the other is not. Do you understand? So let's look at this. Also, we have different kind of alignments. We have top, center, left, right, bottom. All these tools have these things. But with the knowledge of the basic and understanding the fundamentals, will allow you to use the tools effectively to achieve your desired result. So no alignment, when your design is not aligned, you all will agree with me that your design looks just a mere design. You just look at it and it's not even appealing to the sight. So the next rule is balance. Your design have to be balanced. So balance in design covers how the visual weight of elements are balanced with each other on both sides of the design to create cohesiveness, completion, and satisfaction. So you should not make a design that the the right hand side is looks scanty while the left hand side look has content. So let every aspect of your design be what be balanced. You understand? The top, the bottom, the left, the right, the center. Let it look balanced. Don't let it look as if One is heavier than the other. So that's just about balance. So your composition should be balanced vertically, horizontally, diagonally, and or background versus foreground to achieve optimal balance. So your design just have to be balanced. You look at your design critically and see, okay, how is this design balanced? What else do I need to implement to make this design look balanced? So how do we achieve balance? We can achieve balance by color, by the color we use, the ash and the orange. Can you see? We can also achieve balance by shape, and we can also achieve balance by pattern, by the kind of pattern we use. So the seventh rule is typography. The typography too is a very, very important aspect of your design, because there is hardly any design that you do not use any form of text. There is hardly any design. So typography is the art and technique of arranging type, which means text, to make written language legible, readable, and appealing when displayed. So that's about typography, and there are five basic classification of typefaces. We have the serif, we have the sans serif, we have the script, we have the monospaced, and we have the decorative. So the serif fonts, these are fonts that when you see them, or the serif typefaces are the fonts that when you see them, they have like a curved area at the a curved shape at their tail end. I- If you all look at the serif that we have here, you can agree with me that you can see some kind of curves. When you see the A, you see some curve. B, curve at the end points at their edges. So the sans serif means there is no curve, no serif. So all these kind of font are always straight. They do not have any form of curve or anything at the edges. No, they are always straight. We have the script. The script are always this design, these typefaces that are always slanty. And we also have the decorative fonts, which we have the examples on the screen right here with us. So now mostly the serif font is used for designs that we are to print out. So if you are printing a design out, like a newspaper or magazines or invitation, so it is the best form of typefaces or typography you have to implement there is the serif, because it makes it easier to what it makes it easier for the human eye to quickly distinguish between the letters when you use serif in a printed format. While the sans serif is best for digital devices like phones, when you are designing for digital devices like phones, the where your audience are to see the designs using their digital devices. So that's perfect. Maybe you want to design an ebook that is to be uploaded on Amazon, Kindle. So you understand, and you want to use something as your display picture. So on WhatsApp or on any social media handles, or you are designing for social media for social media. So you have to make your fonts that are sans serif. So please, are we still together? Sorry, are we still together? Hello? Oh, sorry, have I been speaking to myself since?
I don't know if it is from my side, though. I can't hear you very well.
Okay, is it just now or before now? Sorry, is that just now or before now? Can you hear me now? Someone is raising up his hands. Abimbola. Okay. Sorry, can you all hear me now? Hello? 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 It seems we cannot hear me. I need to confirm if you can all hear me. Habibullah, can you hear me? Mubaraka, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, thank you for the response. Okay, I received a response that I am being heard loud and clear. Okay, that's fine. I just needed to confirm.
Hello.
Narm.
So it's in the network.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay,
It
okay.
is faint, a little faint.
It's a little faint. Okay. Uh,
Maybe I should rejoin the group.
okay,
I
okay.
should rejoin.
Maybe you can try that. So I'll wait for you. Try to leave and reconnect. Okay, great. I can see you are back. Omolola, yeah, you are welcome back. So now we will proceed with the next rule, which is consistency. So visual consistency is based on making similar objects or elements look the same. So what we are trying to say is that in your design, you have to just be consistent. Do you understand? We use if you are using a particular shapes, if you are using a particular shape, make it consistent. You will see here we said being consistent in your design means having same design elements such as color and font. Know that you are using blue here and you are using green. You are using just be consistent in your use of colors or fonts. Do we understand? So you have to be consistent. Now you will see from this design now. Let's just look at it critically. You see, we can see in the picture we have different images. Now we can say at some point the person changed the white square shape to a circle red shape. That shows that that person is no longer consistent. You have been using it in this format. Now you got here, you changed it. It shouldn't be like that. You have to ensure the consistency runs throughout your design. If you're using a particular color in your design, make it consistent. If you're using a particular shape, make it consistent. If you're using a particular color, make it consistent. Are we together? So next, we'll talk about repetition. So repetition or using a pattern is one of the most fundamental rules of graphics design. So these are an element used multiple times throughout the design to add consistency and unity. It can be regular or irregular. We can see it can be regular or anything to create a pattern that brings interest to the design. So you can repeat things just to give it a form of so that you can give it a form of attraction. Do you understand? You will see here that we, we can see we can see design patterns like this where you just see background where you have circle round, and they will make let me quickly check through. Let me quickly check something. Let me escape from here and show you something. I'm coming. So repetition in design. Let's see. Can we all see something like this? So can we all see something like this image?
Yes.
Yes, can you see the circle? That's what is known as repetition. Not that you are trying to repeat something and you now use circle here, you now use a square. So just repeating a particular pattern just to give it a form of uniqueness or a form of can you see this one as well? Just brought pencils together. So that's about repetition. So when you are repeating a particular sheet, make it uniform, make it significant. Can you see? Can you see the colors that is being used there? In the good one, you have a lighter shade of green, and we have a lighter shade of blue. You have a darker shade of green, and you have a bit darker shade of blue again. So that is known as repetition. So at this point, we have come to the end of rules of graphics design. Rules of graphics design. I see that we are this 9:39. Should we proceed? Yes, should we proceed?
Should we still do we still have much to cover?
Yes, we still have to
If we
talk
have much to
about.
cover, I think we can pen it till tomorrow maybe. Or if it's just little, we can continue.
Yeah, we should be able to cover it up
Yeah,
before
we should
10
be able
o'clock.
to cover it up before 10 o'clock. Oh,
Yes. Okay,
I
let's
don't know
proceed.
about others. Okay, let's proceed.
So we will be talking about color theory, which has to do with how do we use the colors, how do we combine colors together. However, the material will be made available to those who attend the program today only. I will not share it on the group. I only share it to those who attended this session. And also, for those who attended this session, please, I will need your full name so that I would give you a certificate of attendance, okay, after the session. That's just by the way. So now color theory. The color theory is just how it has to do with how do we combine colors? How do we make colors harmonious in our design? Not that we just use colors anyhow, just think this is one color, let's combine it with another. No, there are books that talks about color theory. There are definitions to each colors. There are attributes that each colors characterizes. So each color have meaning. There are meaning to use of colors. All these things are very important in our design as a graphic designer. So now, color theory is both the science and art of using color. It explains how humans perceive color and visual effects of how colors mix, match, or contrast with each other. The color theory also involves the messages colors communicate. Can you see? Colors communicate messages. If we do not understand that, let me bring a bigger picture of that for us. You will agree with me that when you get to an eatery, to all the standard eateries, you would realize that most of their main colors that is being used is either yellow, red, sometimes green. Is that correct? Yes.
Now,
Yes. So now these colors are warm colors that are that increases, that energizes anyone, that even if you are not hungry before, immediately you step into an eatery, looking at that environment itself, you will start feeling or you start feeling like eating, like tasting, even if not eating, just tasting what is happening here, because of the kind of environment and the way they have used the colors. So now let's quickly go back to our elementary school categories of colors. Primary color, secondary. The primary we have the blue, red, and yellow. The secondary purple, which is combination of two of the primary's color. We have the tertiary, which is combination of primary and secondary colors. We have warm color and we have cool colors. Yes. So these are just some theories about colors, which is the CMYK and the RGB. So the CMYK is a subtractive color model where we have cyan, magenta, and yellow and black. So any color you see on the physical paper uses what? Subtractive color mixing model. So we have the RGB. These are just theories that most times where I think we all these are very important is when we are trying to export our design. So if you are exporting your design for digital devices, please kindly export it as either a PNG or a, depending on the tools you are using, or a RGB. When you use the CMYK, the CMYK are best used for print, when you are taking your design for print. So that's that about that. So additive color mixing model has to do with mixing light color with your design to create colors, like mixing red, green, and blue light sources of various intensities. So that's just that. So like I said, that the RGB is used for screens. So when you're designing for things that are to be used on digital devices, that are to be used on screens, you export them using what? RGB model. So we move to the color wheel. The color wheel consists of three primary colors, three secondary colors, and six tertiary colors. So now it is from the color wheels that we can group colors as warm colors, cool colors, analogous colors, triad. So with the color wheel, what the color wheel just does for us is just it shows to us how do we combine colors that makes them harmonious, that that combining them will make your design looks perfect and okay. So we have warm colors. Warm colors are generally associated with energy, brightness, and action. Can you see we can find yellow colors here? Orange, red. Like I said, that they are warm colors. They give energy, they give brightness, action. Do you understand? So in an eatery, they are trying to energize your system to feel the appetite, to feel like eating. So they'll use colors that are light and warm colors. Do you understand? So we have the cool colors. The cool colors are often identified with calm, peace, and serenity, such as blue, purple, green. So they are mostly, when you're trying to design for a brand, for example, you can use blue color just to show that that brand is trustworthy. That's one of the definition of blue, as in the meaning of blue colors. It shows that you are trustworthy, you are legit, you are you are. So that's how cool colors does. So now we now have the color schemes. So now that's when we talk about complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite on the color wheel. For example, red and green. Can you see the logo of pepper powdered? Pepper powered, for example. Can see they use the combination of red and green, and they are complementary colors on the color wheel. I'll show you complementary colors in the next slide. So these are complementary colors that you can use together in your design that will make your design perfect and less complex. So now we can see now these are complementary colors: yellow and purple, red and green, orange and blue. So this is the colors. These are colors that are opposite one another on the color wheel. Do we understand? So these are known as complementary colors. These are known as complementary colors. We have the analogous colors. These analogous colors sit next to one another on the color wheel. So they sit next to one another in the color wheel. You see them, one, two, three. You can just combine three colors that are sitting next to each other. So when creating an analogous color scheme, one color will dominate, one will support, and another with accent. So now that is that about analogous colors. So in the color wheel here, for example, you can have orange, this light red, and this red. So you can have blue, this blue, green, and green. So that's known as what? Analogous colors. So triadic colors are evenly spread around the color wheel, tend to be very bright and dynamic. So from what we have here, we have purple or red. Yes, red, yellow, and blue. So they are evenly spaced. We are going to see that you see that the distance between each selected color are what are the same. We have three different colors before yellow, after yellow again three different colors before it comes to red, like we have from this Burger King. We have the blue color, the yellow color, and the red color. it th- those are the three colors that are used to make this design. And you can see how it looks so harmonious, it looks so perfect. So these are examples. So all these are just trying to show us that these are the kind of colors you can combine in your design to make your design looks apt. Do we understand? So now we also have the split complementary color. So the split complementary color scheme uses one base color and two additional colors that are adjacent to the base colors complement. Now Now, this is split complement. We say complementary colors are colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel, correct? So now this split complementary is just that this orange now that we have here, the one facing it is the lighter shade of blue. Now that lighter shade, that's the complement, that's its complement. However, the split complement is just the two colors that are adjacent this, which is the blue and the green. So that's why it's called a split complement. They are splitting the complement into two. So that so do we understand? So that is the split complementary colors. So we have the rectangular colors. We can go through this on a later time. This is a rectangle, uses four colors broken into two complementary pairs. So now we have the green and purple are complement, and we have the yellow and light and blue, which are complement. So we also have the square. It uses the four, but this time they are all spaced evenly around the wheel. So this is just trying to show us the colorways. So depending on the complexity of your design, before you can see a design that you would need to use like four colors, that means you are designing a very complex design, like maybe you are designing a souvenir or something closer to that. So do we understand? So these analogous colors this came here. So these are analogous colors where I said that they are colors that are being used straight up, like selecting three colors on the wheel at the same time. So these are analogous colors, from what we can see that those colors, those combining this kind of colors looks perfect, even from viewing it on the screen right here. We can see that they look harmonious. So now all these are just theoretical parts. Who shade, tint and tone. Hue is the pure color, while the shade is like making it darker. The tint is like adding something, like making it transparent, more transparent, and the tone adding gray. So all these things, we are going to understand them when we are trying to use graphic design tools. They are just basic theories which we should understand, actually, which we should understand. So now we move to graphics design tools. Graphics design tools. So we have the Adobe tools, which include Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Lightroom, and many more. So there are still many more Adobe tools that are these are softwares that are being used to design. So we have the Canva, which are mobile or smartphone application used for graphics design. So we have the Canva. This is the web version of Canva. This is the web version. CorelDRAW also is also one of the common graphics design tools. And the mobile design tools, we have Pixel Lab, Canva, Adobe Express. So these are basically just the tools that we can use to achieve our desired graphical designs. So at this point, we come to the end of the session. I truly appreciate your time and patience, everyone. Thank you so much. Please, if you have any questions, kindly proceed to ask, or any clarification before we end the session. Thank you so much. Do we have any question, please?
Jazakumullah Khairan for the presentation. I really enjoyed it. I was on and off, but you have really broken it down. You've simplified it actually. Because I've been like, I don't really understand a lot of concepts in graphic design, especially these tools that are being used. But you have really broken them down, and I really, really appreciate and like your presentation. It was very straightforward and explanatory. Thank you very much for it. So, if you want to know more about this designing, because I'm really interested in designing, but time frame, the do this, do that, do this, it has been tedious and somehow for me. So, if there's any other way to learn it, or you are actually bringing out an offer for us, maybe there's something we want to how to go about it.
Yes.
Really, really appreciate it.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much. I really appreciate your feedback, and thank you so much for giving even even though you you were aware of this session very late, and alhamdulillah you were able to follow through. Luckily, we have close to 50 something participants in the group, oh, and here we have just little of us on the call. So after these fundamentals, I'll be rolling out a course soon on how to use the smartphone for designs. So when it is ready, I would communicate in due time, but it will be ready as soon as possible. Just in few maximum of 1 week after this session. So hopefully by then uh, I will reach out to everyone on the next steps. Thank you so much, Umu Shuaib, um, Abimbola, Mrs. Akon. Do we have any question, please? Okay, I think she's not in a place where she can speak for now, because I can see she has been using the chat to communicate. So, if there are no any further questions, thank you so much, everyone, for creating your time from your busy schedule. I understand everyone is busy, especially in this time where we are experiencing fuel scarcity or increment in the pump price. Thank you all for joining the session. I really appreciate. Inshallah Rahman, I will send each and every one of you the slides for reference purpose, and also please do well to send me your full names on the WhatsApp, as a direct message, not on the group, please. As a direct message, so I can issue out certificates of attendance for this program. Once again, Jazakumullah khairan jaza. Thank you so much, and do have a great time. Bye.